Good morning. I was just double checking that Bibby is here, and he is on the screen if you're watching live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. The channel is obviously Ice Cream, and this is your daily scoop of games industry and beyond news. How you doing, babe?
Good morning, mate. I kind of nearly shat myself then because I forgot there's a delay on the screen, and the intro was still going as you shouted that.
Just got your so-called confidence monitor there, which took away all the confidence. GG.
Absolutely. So I should have moved my camera a little bit as well because you can't see my forehead, but.
I can fix this. Let's edit on the fly. For those of you that are listening on audio services, because we are live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. The video will be going live on YouTube approximately an hour or so after the show, and then we'll be on podcast services. And if you're listening on podcast services, then I'm afraid you're just going to have to bear with while we just tinker with Bibby's positioning on screen, because we've kind of lost his forehead.
Yes. So Wednesday and Thursdays, you may have seen if you are watching live that we don't do this from the studio. Graham does this from his bedroom, his man station, his man cave, as you can see with all the cool stuff in the background. And then I'm sat in the studio with the lights on, etc., etc. And so obviously this is me just filling the audio gap whilst Graham tinkers with whatever he needs to do.
Nice forehead there, baby. You look pretty foreheadable there.
Oh, a foreheadable, nice one. Vincent Company-esque.
Yes, I appreciate you mentioning all the things on the shelves behind me. Let's take a look at the things that we have over there. Oh my god! Look at the things on the shelf behind me.
Oh, I might sat on the shelf again.
Yeah.
Oh my god! You see, again, I've got this on a delay, so I'm seeing this for the first time. For Christ's sake!
I need to move your head. You're not in the right place. Move down.
So last night when I said to you, "Oh, Graham, do you fancy coming on Casino Royale with me and Ali?" and you was like, "Need to download it." This is what you was messing about with.
I was maybe doing this when we were just sat doing the audio test before we went live and stuff. That might have been what I was doing just then. Pirate asked,
just keep me there for the rest of the stream.
You've got a third hand. Somehow your hands are on your hips, but you still managed to drink. What's this about? So there we go. Thank you very much for the host, Pirate. Your wish has been granted. Bibby is now sat on the shelf inside the at-home ice cream studio. So for those of you that aren't aware, The Scoop is a daily news show. We go live at 10 a.m. every single day, Monday to Friday. And usually at least two guys, I say usually at least every time we've done the show, two people from the ice cream team have delivered our opinions on the latest games news. And we have 5 news articles for you guys today, starting with, actually, I'm going to have to jump back because I don't think I can check out the news whilst Bibby's sat on the shelf. Sorry, babe. Sorry there, babe.
It's okay, mate. Just take me off the shelf.
Let me just make sure this is all good. Web, there we go. So we have our first news article on screen. You can see this is a Eurogamer article by Imogen Beckhelling, who's a reporter intern. Did it say that yesterday? I don't think it did say that yesterday. But, well, do you know what, Imogen? Because of the exposure that the Scoop will be giving you, hopefully you're not just going to be an intern. You can make something permanent of your time at Eurogame. So, do you know what? You've got our backing. So, Doom 64. What was that?
I said she writes good stuff.
She's been featured.
We seem to have featured her articles quite a few. Yeah.
I think we've got some sort of delay going over each other now because you were kind of frozen on my monitor off to the side. But we will soldier on. Doom 64 is a pre-order bonus for Doom Eternal on PC and consoles. To hell with it! Nice tag. Following the announcement of Doom Eternal and Doom 64's release being pushed back to next year, id Software has released Doom 64 as a pre-order bonus on Xbox, PlayStation 4 and PC, which is pretty good. It all releases on 20th of March, though if you want it on Nintendo Switch on this date, you'll need to purchase it outright. Switch players can still get it for free by pre-ordering Doom Eternal, however. You just won't be able to play either until Eternal arrives on the platform at a later date, which is yet to be announced. If you've already pre-ordered Doom Eternal, don't worry. You're eligible for the free Doom 64 digital download too. id Software has even released a lovely new trailer to celebrate the news. I would hit that. Do you know what, I'm going to try it? But usually it's like...
Adverts!
Okay, so before its announcement during September's Nintendo Direct, Doom 64 was spotted back in July, making Wesley Ying-Poole all nostalgic. Doom 64, in the absence of a PC, my console-fueled video game childhood was left with Doom 64. But, improbably, Doom 64 was great. So, Bib, impressions?
I I think we touched on this. It was either last week or the week before when we was talking about Doom being postponed. I don't see why they're holding on to this game for so long. I mean, this could have filled the gap with them postponing the game originally. I mean, I'm watching it on the stream now. I love this game. I love Doom anyway. So I probably would have been picking this up from the Switch regardless. Maybe not Doom Eternal on the Switch. But yeah, definitely would have been picking up Doom 64. I'm going to, on payday, pick up the other 3, I think it is. Other 3 Dooms that are already on the Nintendo Switch. Doom 1, Doom 2, and Doom 3. So this would be nice to add to the collection. I definitely will play Doom Eternal at some point. Oh, that was... Is there an elephant in your room? For audio listeners, that was Graham blowing his nose. But yeah, this could have filled the gap in between. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I definitely will be playing it. I don't know where Graham's gone. I can't seem to hear him at the moment.
What about now?
Oh, there he is. There we are.
So maybe I didn't mute the mic like I thought I did. Blew my nose into the stream and then muted it afterwards while I carried on talking. Great plan. So just to clarify this then, so it all released on 20th of March. Though if you want Nintendo Switch, you'll get it later date. So this is a pre-order bonus. So Doom 64, do you get now, or do you get that alongside the release?
You'll get it alongside, but that's what I mean. This is only a port. So why they didn't just like release this when the original Doom came out? It could have filled the gap in between. You know, obviously the delay. It would have been nice for them to do that, but they're still releasing it at the same time as the Doom Eternal. So yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I'm thinking, okay, it'd be really cool to release that now. Give it to everyone now, and it's like, do you know what? We're not ready yet to roll out Doom 2020 or whatever it's going to. Doom Eternal, that's the one. Doom Eternal. We're not ready to roll out Doom Eternal just yet, so we will give you Doom 64 now as a little bit of a stopgap. Although thinking about it, that potentially causes issues, because if you have a package of Doom Eternal and then within that you have Doom 64, that's nice and easy to roll out to people, whereas I imagine to roll out Doom 64 as a standalone thing, you then add a whole different level of... It's going to need probably classification, it's probably going to need its own updates, trail and stuff like that, so... and not only that, I think it costs like stupid amounts of money to roll things out onto the likes of PSN and Xbox, so the first party rollouts cost an absolute wedge. So yeah, thinking about it now, I've said it out loud, probably the nice thought would be, let's give them Doom 64 now in the meantime to keep you busy, but yeah, it's probably logistically a bit of a ball ache to do that.
It still looks great in that trailer that you just showed on the screen. It still looks great.
And if you are listening to this on our podcast services, so obviously I've mentioned that we're live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. We will be on YouTube within an hour, but we also are going live on 4 podcast services every single day. So if you can't catch us live and you can't watch the video, then you can get us straight into your logos on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So yeah, if you are listening on there and you can't see it, we are rolling the video again. No, we're not, because it's not on the screen. We're rolling it again now. There we go. So yeah, make sure you check it out. I mean, the article, you will be able to see it for yourself on Eurogame. It's written by Imogen, Beckhelling, and obviously just search for the Doom 64 content. You will see it on there. Looks pretty good. I mean,
it'll also be in our patch notes.
Yes, it will.
Look at the description of the podcast. You'll be able to see them there as well. If you're lazy like me, that's why we put them there for you.
Do you know what? I am so lazy that I have never ever looked at those notes. I didn't even.
Have you not?
No, I literally just my podcast listening is all in the car. So I've got Apple CarPlay, plug my phone in, click on Spotify, click, boom, play, boom. Didn't even know there was options for notes and things on Spotify.
Yeah, well, when you click on the episode, it'll load up the episode on your screen. If you're looking at your phone or on the PC, if you click on the episode, it'll say it'll have our little intro at the top, and then it'll have all the links, who wrote them, what website they're from, and then at the bottom all of our social links. So that's a nice little bit of information for you, Graham.
There you go. See, I mean, I would like to say that I knew all that, and I only this was one of the setup things that we went through just so that we could discuss it, but I had no idea. So there we go. Now you know. Now I know. Yay! You are now. You are gonna have to do a Christmas version now, where Bibby is the elf on the shelf.
Oh, for God's sake!
That's a good idea. Just in case anyone is late in to the scoop, Bibby is now the Belf on a shelf. There he is. Yeah, look at him having fun up there. Watch out, babe, don't fall. What? Oh, your head fell off. His head's gone. His head's gone.
Look at that.
So nice little bit of news to get us into the show, and then something a little bit more meaty. Well, it is if you know about all of the background behind this. So let me just. Oh no, yep. I need to make it look professional. Go full screen before you go to the browser, Graham. There we go. So, do you want to pick this one up, Biberino?
Is it the WWK? Is it the WWE one? No. Okay. EA wants to make college sports games again. That's the one, isn't it?
That's the one.
Yes, look at that. I got it right first time. Anyway, this is an article that's on GameSpot, and it's been written by Eddie Makuch. Makuch? Oh, I do this to you. Sorry, Eddie. I do this to you every day. Because you write good articles, but I just can't pronounce your name, mate. So, Eddie M. That's what we're going to call you. EA wants to make college sports games again. Somebody tell Snoop Dogg. That was Who Am I by Snoop Dogg. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
The stable of EA Sports games once included numerous college sports games, but for a variety of reasons, including lawsuits from former players, EA stopped making them. Who's doing that? If you get featured in a game, why are you kicking off? I know they're probably not getting paid, but still, your face is in the game, mate. EA stopped making them. Now, EA CEO said that the company might return to the sports college games thanks to, in part, by a new law that will affect certain collegiate athletes and endorsement deals. I'm absolutely nailing this today.
Bam.
Speaking at the WSJ Tech Live conference this week, EA CEO Andrew Wilson said that EA would jump for the opportunity to make some more college sport video games if the NCAA can come up with a system to pay players. Wilson added that he receives a lot of emails to his personal account from fans asking for EA to bring back college sports games. I think there are many, maybe even millions of people who hope that that is the case. Sorry, I just burped. California Governor Gavin Newsom signed a law in September that allows student athletes to make money from endorsement deals whilst in school. The law doesn't take effect until 2023, however, so it remains to be seen how it will all shake out. EA used to develop college football and basketball games, but the final college basketball game was the NCAA Basketball 10, and the final football title was NCAA Football 14. Let's not get that confused with our transatlantic cousins. That football is American football and not the one that dominates the world sport.
Soccer.
Soccer ball. Video games based on professional sports, meanwhile, continue to be very big business for EA. The company make NBA, NHL, NFL, and FIFA games with their Ultimate Team modes, bringing in lots of millions of microtransactions. Fans, including Snoop Dogg, have been calling on EA to return the college sports games for business for years. Fans got a little treat with Madden NFL 20, as the game's story mode featured 10 different college football teams, though no player likenesses or names were used. EA and the NCAA ended their licensing deal in 2013, and in 2015, EA was ordered to pay $60 million to former college players following a lawsuit over likeness.
Oof.
That's a lot of money. Well, to be fair, it's not a lot of money to EA.
It's like 4.5 minutes of Ultimate Team. And not even all of the Ultimate Teams, not even like Madden Ultimate Team or NHL Ultimate Team. It's just like, 2 minutes of FIFA Ultimate Team kind of thing. But there we go, 60 million. Let's play it. Pay the goal.
Me being super ignorant, is college in America our high school? Is that our high school or is it university?
It's basically university.
College in the UK that's different from the United States by the language. Blah blah blah. Oh, don't give me that. So it's basically their college is our uni.
Pretty much, yeah. It's as far as I'm aware, it's not exactly a direct transfer. I think college is kind of college and university for us mixed together. It's a bit different, but yeah, essentially, the closest for us is uni.
Okay.
There you go. As Parrot says in the chat, uni baby. It's not a direct replacement in terms of we have secondary education and then is it higher education and then further education or whatever but yeah. It's basically university for them because high school goes straight up to 18. Oh, I didn't know exactly that. I thought you still finished 16. But there you go.
So yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. I like the fact that they used to, because obviously I don't like any of their terrible at basketball game. Don't know the rules apart from NBA Jam, sick game. And the NCAA, the American football. What is that for a sport? I think the Super Bowl was on for like 6 hours and there was 30 minutes of entertainment.
I love the idea.
Like
I love the concept, and I love all the theatre behind the Super Bowl. I always wanted to I want to play American football. I'd love to play. I'd love to understand it, but yeah, I just don't understand it at all. I've tried. I've tried. I've tried to get into it, but as someone that has no understanding of the game, no regular places to watch the game, and nobody around me that I can converse with about the game, I don't know. I give in.
No, but I like the fact that they have gone to universities and tried to put them into the game and feature them as playable characters. Like, if I didn't go to university, but if someone came to the Manchester University, because I don't like leaving Manchester, apart from going to work every day, and said, we're going to feature you in the football game, I'd be like, dead right, let me go and sort my trim out, and then you can get me in doing some mocap.
Yeah.
That'd have been sick.
The difference there, though, is have you ever watched Ballers on HBO featuring The Rock? Quality TV series, but that kind of bases around in part, I'll try not to give any spoilers, but in part around college football, or college hand egg as we call it in the UK. And the thing is, like, for us, university football or university rugby or whatever sport we play at university, there is absolutely no media demand for it whatsoever. So if EA Sports go, babe, can we stick your face in Manchester Mets football team? You'd be like, it's like, yeah, I'm just asking you a question. I'm not taking a picture or anything. Sorry, I'll still study here anyway. Just waiting. So you'd be like high fiving. Yeah, absolutely, get me in the game. Whereas in America, college football, that whole collegiate system is built as it's pretty much. It's probably a shit analogy, but imagine. Football in America is the Premiership, and then collegiate football is the Championship. It's kind of like that. It's probably not a direct analogy, but that's the kind of way it works. So there is a demand for it. The whole towns are built around collegiate football and the way that feeds into it. So
because you get like 20,000 people going to watch a college football game, don't they? Like the whole town goes to support their university or college, whatever it is, to go and play against another university at home. It's like a massive event for them, whereas that kind of thing doesn't happen over here.
I'd be lucky when I played rugby at school if I got 20 people from my school to watch a game. Genuinely, I don't think we ever got 20 people watching us play rugby after school. Probably because we were crap. But yeah, maybe that. Yeah. But yeah, even when we were winning and smashing, we didn't have 20 people, and that was like including coaching staff and everything. So
and subs on the bench.
So college for US is higher education. Yeah. It's like college football and basketball is a stepping stone to the big leagues. Yeah, exactly. The like I say, students, you'll see it in they always make things out of it in those like teeny bopper American movies where students are being like pushed through. Yeah, we will give you an A in English, even though you can't even spell me, and it's like just so that they can get into the football team, and that's because it's so big that having that star player in a team is not just big for the team and big for their career. It could be big for a college, because a college wants to be the college that says, we've got the next Michael Jordan, we've got the next Madden, we've got the next Beckham sort of like figure coming through, the big stars or the big things. Then that's big. So coming back to the actual game itself, interesting to see that EA are going back after that, because that was obviously we mentioned the 60 million when that was going out. What year was the 60 million?
2015. Yeah.
So that was just as Ultimate Team had started to take grip. So whilst they do churn money through the microtransaction element, at that point we always saw them as a big like sort of money machine, but 60 million was a lot of money for a company to have to pay out, and that was that essentially killed off any counter basketball games. So obviously we got NBA 2K, and what was EA's? Was it
I think EA's is just NBA Live, I think.
But yeah, there was all sorts of controversy. I'm probably making a bullshit recollection of all of that, but I remember it being quite big news, purely because obviously working in and around PES, we had the same sort of things from the community. It's like, why don't Konami do the same thing in terms of locking down licenses, and then there was all of the antitrust laws that people were throwing around. And I think that was the difference between NBA Live and NBA 2K, was locking down teams exclusively and things like that. But yeah, interesting. I mean, they're saying it might return in part thanks to a new law.
Yeah.
Did the article give any
Well,
details?
I imagine then if it's a new law coming in like that, the players themselves and the school can just license their school out rather than someone. Yeah, because they couldn't. By the looks of it, it looks like they couldn't receive money while it was.
Yeah, I remember it from the end of the article now. Yes.
So they couldn't. The teams and the players and the schools couldn't receive money whilst they was doing this. So, but now obviously. Now they can do after 2023. It looks like they can just say to the school, right, we will give you £30,000. Can we have your roster for this year? Bosh, job done.
Imagine if you were in the class of 2022 and EA Sports are there going, Mr. Bibb, I want to give you 50 grand or whatever. 50 grand, just I'm saying it's fairly low for a sports representation, but yeah, I want to give you 50 grand so we can use your face. And you're like, hell yeah. And then someone's going, actually, sorry, mate. You were born 7 days too late, so you're in the 7 days too early, so you're in the previous financial year, previous school year.
But yeah, it looks like they can start getting some dollar bills, y'all, just for getting a scholarship to play for their school. So that's it. I mean, I'd absolutely love them to do that with football because it'll bring Master League to a brand new level, wouldn't it? Being able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. See, I always thought football games as well. There's definitely not so much a market because I mean, if they're all registered as professional players, they're covered by the FIFA Pro license, so clubs can do it anyway. It's just a matter of time. But just imagine how cool it would be if your youth teams and your reserve teams all had that level of likeness, and so you had your big sort of Master League campaign that you usually take part in, but then you've got your younger youth element. So. As there is in a Master League at the moment now, there is the reserve team or the youth team as well. Imagine being able to have them competing against all the other youth teams, and it's not just like Nanda Junior or whatever the names of the default fake youth team players are now. but you got Phil Foden a couple of years ago kind of thing, sat there on the bench with Brahim Diaz. This is a conversation me and Bib were having yesterday. Both sat there waiting to get absolutely trounced by United's world-class winning everything teams.
Yeah, okay. Right, sorry, I forgot we slipped back into 2002. Yeah, it's to me, it's only a good thing. I mean, everybody wins in this situation. You get people who've probably been playing these games since they was a little kid, being able to get put into the game, and they're getting paid for it, so it's a win-win for absolutely everybody.
Absolutely. But tell you what's not a win-win for everybody, and it's actually a pretty. Well, it's a shit show. Let's put it that way. Let's not mix our words. It is a shit show. I will get onto that in just a second, but let's quickly go back through. It's a new law where players in college can now get money when playing college football or basketball. Previously, they would put their bodies on the line and suffer some career-ending injuries without any payment going to them, but the colleges will get loads of money through winning competitions and funding as well. I think the college itself got a share of the media rights as well. So if college football signed a deal with Fox Sports, for example, the college would get paid big money. The players, sorry mate, you're too young to get paid. So it's kind of almost on par with the esports shit that we've had with the EFPL, where you've got a player playing for Manchester United, for Liverpool, for Chelsea, for Crystal Palace, whatever football team, getting media exposure, football coverage, advertising for Sky because they're showing it on Sky Sports. Sky are getting paid by advertisers. Sky are paying the EFPL. EFPL are paying EA Sports. They're all high-fiving. The cleaners getting paid for cleaning up at the event, but the actual stars of the show, the competitors, weren't getting paid. So it's kind of in the realms of that shit show. Nice to see that he's getting patched out in 2023. Yeah. But yes, I was talking about shit shows. This is the shit show that I was talking about. I mean, this is kind of a shame, particularly from me as a lapsed fan. So no doubt some of you guys in the chat might have more recent opinions, although I think it's safe to say we all have the same opinion from what we will be about to see. So here we go. IGN news article by Matt Kim. Hashtag fix WWE 2K20 campaign trending on social media following a buggy launch. WWE 2K20 isn't looking too hot. And I think isn't looking too hot is a very nice way of saying it looks shit. And I'm saying this as someone admittedly hasn't played the game and has only been going off the images that just appear to be getting worse and worse and worse on my timelines at Graham_Day on Twitter over the last few weeks. I thought it was just like some poorly selected images, but the more I see, the more I'm thinking, what the fuck?
It's not a coincidence that it's happening this much, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so let's roll through. So WWE 2K20 is out today, excuse me. This was yesterday. Out today, and fans have quickly discovered something is not quite right with 2K's latest pro wrestling sim. Now fans are sharing their WWE 2K20 bugs online with the hashtag #FixWWE2K20 to draw attention to what happens to be some serious gameplay and performance issues. A thread on Reddit compiled the extensive list of issues seemingly plaguing WWE 2K20 currently. Everything from a missing day one patch that was promised, along with several issues with multiplayer and matchmaking. But the most obvious and immediate of examples of why fans seem to be upset with WWE 2K20 are from the way the game looks and performs. Here's a visual comparison of WWE wrestler and character John Cena from WWE 2K19 and WWE 2K20. Notice how last year's character model looks more defined and detailed than this year's model. So I've deliberately kind of stopped it there so we don't kind of get spoilers and we can have a little bit of a discussion for those in the audio podcast. So what we have on screen is two side-by-side images of John Cena entering the arena from WWE 2K19 and WWE 2K20. On screen, what we have now is John Cena from WWE 2K19. He's got skin textures, is as you'd expect from a 2K series that's been going forever. I say that. I mean, the last one I played was 2K14, I think, or something like that, and I haven't touched it since, and it was really good in 14, so you had 5 years of improvements on top of that. You understand that 2K19 has skin textures, it has depth of tone, and it altogether looks really good, whereas if I scroll down now, you've just got like 2K Mobile 20. It literally looks like that.
Yeah, it does. They look far too smoothed out, don't they? So that John Cena picture, it looks like it's been made out of Play-Doh in the 2K21.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like it's been generated at all. It doesn't look like it's been mocapped or anything.
Everything about it. I mean, on the bottom one, it looks like there's much less texture and fidelity in terms of the image. It's very smooth and simplified. And then you just forget him completely and look at like the towel that he's holding in his hand. He's holding a green Never Give Up towel. I'm assuming that's something that John Cena did fairly often coming to the ring, and I missed John Cena's era entirely, pretty much. But the 2K19, you can even see the fibres of the toweling. They've clearly gone through to that level of, okay, we need to make this pop. Whereas on the bottom one, it kind of just looks like he's holding up a piece of paper that says never give up on it. I mean, there is a little bit of texture in there, but it's nowhere near the same level. All of the background lighting, just, yeah...
The 2K21 looks very similar to the models that were used to be on like the 360. They're very smooth because it was just moving into like the HD kind of era. So it looks like Earthworm Jim. Says Dan and Lad in the chat. But yeah, it's for me. Well, I think for the entire world, it's a step backwards.
Absolutely.
Like, why?
I remember seeing an article, and the article resonated with me because I spent many hours playing WWE 2K games when I was younger. Let's lose the article on screen for now. So I played a shitload of time, and I'm not sure if my brother is in the chat today. He was in yesterday, so if Fatman Dave 8472 is there, hello. Yeah, we spent hours playing like SmackDown 2, and like years of those sort of games. Like what was this? Shut Your Mouth and.
Yeah.
Anyway, that sort of era of games, I think it was THQ back then.
Here Comes the Pain.
Yeah, exactly.
That's possibly the greatest. That is the GOAT.
I think Shut Your Mouth was the one that was kind of a letdown because the loading times and the saving times were all just crap. But then Here Comes the Pain absolutely smashed it. But yes, spent many years of back-to-back sort of releases, just like I've done with football games forever, playing the new iteration, seeing all the new things, seeing it get better and better and better. And the bit that resonated with me was, I'm pretty sure this is right, but Ukes was a company that helped with the development. I'm pretty sure that was the what, if not the entire developer, but part of the development team. And I saw an article months ago saying that 2K and Ukes have split ways, and I thought, either Ukes have hit the peak of what they can deliver. They've been delivering it since PS2, PS3 days, and I've not seen them on anything else other than wrestling games. They may do more. I personally haven't come across them. So I just thought, maybe they've hit the peak, and WWE or 2K wanted to take it on themselves to push things forward, to take it further.
But got some backup in the chat with that comment as well.
Oh, there we go. I think it's the first year they haven't used Ukes and decided to do it all themselves, and it shows. Yeah, there we go. Ukes, like I say, all I remember is them having some sort of yellowy orange logo, and it coming up in the starting screens where you got like Jim Ross going, "Ladies and gentlemen, this is proof anything can happen in the World Wrestling Federation." Before it was World Wrestling Entertainment, obviously. So I remember that sort of stuff clearly. That it kind of gets burnt in your mind, like seeing like the Acclaim logos when Mortal Kombat was loading in, or the EA Sports to the game. It was kind of that for me. Maybe it had some sort of like yokely redneck music behind it, possibly. I can't remember. Either way, it was when I saw the article, I thought, that's probably a good thing. Then they've realised they're being held back, and they're going to take it further. But it's clearly absolutely it's like getting someone from upper management going, "I know what you're doing there. I've seen you doing that. I can do that myself. I don't need you. Get out of here." And then he's sat there going, "Okay, how do I do Twitter again? Or how do I do event management again? Or how do..." It's like, no, mate, you've just... it looks easy, but it's absolutely not. And that is what that stinks of to me, that picture on screen. I'll bring it back on screen for those of you that might have missed it and just joined in. The state of that! Okay.
Well, I've just had a look at what other games that Ukes have done, and they pretty much have just spent their entire development cycle on wrestling games, barring a few UFC games in between. So they did UFC 3 Undisputed 2010, 2009, a dodgeball game, a skiing game, and a dog game. Oh, and a Grand Prix game. So yeah, there's pretty much just wrestling games.
We have a comment in the chat from Number One Pirate, who's just been granted moderator privileges. Hi, mod. He says, "I heard a rumour that Ukes were coming out with their own game to rival 2K. Okay, now this is where we ask our founder badge and resident colorer in the chat, next gen renegade. AEW, is it all entertainment wrestling, all extreme wrestling,
all elite?
Could Ukes be making them a wrestling game?
I hope so. That would be insane.
Just imagine,
because that'll be going back to like the WCW versus WWF kind of games at the time, and that'll be insane.
Just imagine you've got like WWE 2K Mobile 20 John Cena, and then you've got like full HD Chris Jericho elsewhere. Oh my god, Well, this is going to test my knowledge quite a bit now. I'm probably going to get this wrong, so again, the resident WWE colour Craig in the chat, if you could just try and find out this for me. But I'm fairly certain at the time Acclaim was doing WCW games, and that they actually brought out a banging WCW game. And WWF was in the Attitude and Warzone era, which was just absolute pants. The game was total ass. So they ended up teaming up with somebody else, which then started off the WWF No Mercy and WWF WrestleMania, I think it was. I think it started off that era of games, which then became the legendary No Mercy game, and then moved on from there. But I think it might have been Ukes at the time that started on the No Mercy projects and been with them since. Oh, interesting, says Pirate in the chat, which then leads on to BuzzDevPete's comment saying, Kenny Omega of AEW has suggested there will be an AEW game announced before 2020. Oh, just the one time that WWE 2K absolutely does not... I was going to say drop a ball or drop a bollock, but I mean, they've clearly dropped a resolution there. I mean, they've dropped a generation, and the one time you don't want to do that is when you've got... a loud-mouth upstart just about to disrupt the scene kind of thing.
Well, it's not just that. All the people from AEW are pretty much the people who was in WWE and brought WWE to like the gold standard when it comes to wrestling, but obviously by New Japan Pro. But the fact that these are making noise in the wrestling ring as AEW, off the pitch or out the ring, shall we say, they're making massive noise as well. And if Ukes are making a game for them as well, WWE are in serious shit.
Speaking of serious shit, I'll bring this on screen. So we'll try to explain it for those listening on podcast services. This IGN article goes down to have a number of different sources. So we had the John Cena comparison from Reddit. There's an intro sequence here which shows. Let me mute the audio. It shows some really high res stuff from 2K19, and then it shows some.
The whip on the tail is horrendous this year.
Yeah,
there's just no flex in it.
So to explain that, we've got an intro of wrestler Bianca Belair from 2K19 and 2K20. I have no idea who this person is. I've not seen her before. Anyway, she's grabbing her hair and whipping it around. It's a ponytail, which on 2K19 it's spun around like a ponytail. On 2K20 it looks like she's got some sort of cardboard tubing strapped to her head that she's kind of like, that isn't bending, isn't whipping or anything.
She's got a piece of gutter in on her head.
Exactly. As we scroll down, we have a ladder match going on. Just have to bear with us while we try to see what... Someone's fallen through a ladder. A ladder has disappeared.
Yeah, so it's the textures on like the ladder and the steel chair and things like that. And then as the wrestler goes to strike another wrestler in the face, it just kind of stutters for a little bit and you completely miss him. It's just shocking.
It's that powerbomb onto the stairs that suddenly start dissolving through the floor. So yeah. Anyway, the gist of it is it's pants, and it says this comment here from the Smart to Death podcast basically summarises what we're looking at. If you can't see it on screen. Everybody wanted the old WWE games back, so 2K listened and brought us graphics from the M64. Damn! It looks it as well, though. Do you know when I see that? Basically, we're looking at a cutscene here. Someone backstage reading something. We were speaking about Bully Scholarship Edition on the show a couple of weeks back. Last week before. And that clip show just looks like something from the Bully Scholarship Edition on like PS2,
it does, doesn't it?
PS3 remaster. And then you've got The Rock looking like generic bald man.
They've not done him any justice there whatsoever.
So let's go back to the actual words within the article. Then it said, should be noted that this is the first Oh, here we go. This is what we're talking about. It should be noted this is the first WWE 2K title since 2000 that wasn't developed by a Japanese game company, Ukes. Instead, Visual Concepts, which supported development on the WWE game franchise since 2K14, took over full development duties for WWE 2K20. At the time, 2K gave the following statement to IGN. WWE 2K20 will be developed by Visual Concepts, who have worked with Ukes on the development of the series since 14. As we've continued to invest in the 2K franchise, we've seen the Visual Concepts team display incredible passion, talent, and commitment to the future of the series. We thank Ukes for their years of partnership and are excited to see what the Visual Concepts team bring to the franchise moving forward. Even beyond the visual bugs, players are listing several different issues with 2K20 that range from online multiplayer issues to claims of missing or removed features. An extensive thread on the many WWE 2K issues can be found on, and there's a linked Reddit thread within the article. Some players are wondering if a promised Day 1 patch was even released for WWE 2K20. In an email to IGN, 2K confirmed that a Day 1 patch for 2K20 is currently live and should automatically download upon starting the game. But despite the patch being live, there still seems to be persistent issues with the title. IGN is currently in the process of reviewing WWE 2K20. That's going to be a fun review score. In the meantime, check out the 2K19 review there.
The worst part about this is, this potentially may be the last game before... Well, no, they're probably going to have one more next year, but this is going to be the last, potentially second to last game before the PS5, the Xbox Scarlet, and whatever else comes out. So this was kind of like, get it right, and then we'll go into the new console cycle. But they're going to have to build this game again from the start for the next generation of consoles. So I can't imagine, like this, usually I think we've talked about this before, games get better and better as the cycle of the generation, console generation goes on. So games usually at the end of the console generation are much better looking, that we can push the power right to its very limits than the beginning of the console generation. So Christ knows what the new game for the new console is going to be like upon release. I can't imagine that being great at all.
Yeah, just imagine like kind of like we do now, or we have done quite a few times. Obviously, we play a lot of football games, and we often go back and have sort of retro rewind. Shout out to the ice cream show, by the way. Look back at the key games or the final games of a generation, so you can see that's like the milestone marker. This is where the PS2 led football gaming to. This is what the PS3 led games to. And this is what PS4 led wrestling games to be. It's kind of that sort of like, what? You see, like, I mean, I remember seeing, there was an image a few weeks back which showed you a bunch of wrestlers, and it was like it had like loads of different players, like all the legend kind of wrestlers as well, like Hulk Hogan, and I just saw like the picture of Hulk Hogan just there, like with his like mustache and everything, and someone had just put the tag underneath it. It's like, "I'm lonely, brother," and I was just like, it absolutely looks like that.
Oh god, well they're in big trouble anyway. 2K. I don't like Busted Peeps just said then they could lose the license. WWE bring a lot of things in house, the TV network and their movie company. I can't see them making their own game purely because that's a very, very specialist. Anybody could, I say anybody. You can. It's easier probably to find a movie director that you can have under the WWE moniker than it is to find a team of 100 people to try and make your game. But I can see them losing the license. I don't know who the hell's going to pick it up. Then again, EA could probably pick it up and put a load of loot boxes, stuff like you can't have Hulk Hogan's mustache unless you open 14,000 loot crates.
Or you can have the mustache, but you just can't have the NWO blacked out like shoe polish version of the mustache. Speaking about getting teams to be able to develop it, Ukes have been around for ages creating WWE games. About 20 years Ukes have been doing this as the chat. Midway Games made the TNA Impact games, so they could be in the mix somewhere with AEW.
Brilliant game, by the way, that.
The bits where the refs are on their knees and all up in the grounds of players is madness. This was the comment I was going to get to. So they need a year off and build it up again from the ground up. This game has felt the same for years for now, which is, you can understand if it hasn't really evolved in a few years, that being the reason for removing Ukes from the equation. But you don't remove the stable of your game. If your game is getting tiresome, if it's becoming repetitive, if it's the same old story, and I like I said, last played like I think 2K14, 2K15, somewhere around that. I think it was 14, and then I tried like 17. I don't class that as being played because I literally just tried it, and it was exactly the same game. It felt exactly the same in terms of, obviously it might looked a little bit better, but it just felt exactly the same. Nothing had really changed that much. And if they're thinking, okay, we need to take this further, visual concepts are the one to do that. The one thing you want to do from visual concepts is not make the game look like the mobile version for a start. I mean, you do not. I mean, that's probably an extreme way of saying it. You don't lose what you've had, because that's one way to completely alienate fans, and that's where you get shareholders going, fuck this shit, they're out. Let's bring Ukes back. We'll have visual concepts just back doing what they were doing, because they clearly can't manage a game of this size. I mean, we don't know all the ins and outs. We don't know how long it took to get to that stage. There might have been some difficulties, or they might have been, visual concepts might have expected to have all of Ukes' back catalogue of assets and stuff, and Ukes might have gone, actually, nope, that was not contracted, or we don't know any of the ins and outs of that sort of stuff, so it might have been a fuck mobile graphics is, we'll at least get something out. But yeah, they could lose the license. WWE bring a lot of things in-house, the TV network, their movie company. THQ are back, aren't they, says Next Gen Renegade. Well, THQ Nordica, still technically a different firm. I mean, obviously they use the same name, but yeah, they do have a lot of the titles that THQ originally did. Some of the moves in-game are the same animation from the early SmackDown PS1 games. Wow. Yeah. I mean, the game...
Well, the thing is, the PS2 and the PS1 games, there wasn't a simulation, was there? There wasn't a wrestling sim game. There was an arcade game. There wasn't going like for like with the move sets and stuff like that, but this is meant to be deemed as a wrestling sim. It's not an arcade game, but they've made it look like an arcade game, so yeah, bag of shite.
Tell you what is a bag of shite, the fact that Bibby hasn't been sat on my shelf for a good 15 minutes. There he is, chilling out on the shelf. GG Bibberino. And we'll bring him back into the box.
Good.
So, okay, let's bring the news back on screen as we move things on. We've kind of slated WWE 2K for that. The thing is, let's before we do that, let's wrap that up. we're all either WWE fans or lapsed WWE fans in the ice cream team. So seeing a game look that bad, whilst we're mocking it and taking the piss, it comes from a warm place. We want that game to be successful. I have a lot of fondness for what 2K do in terms of the quality of their sports games, and obviously what Take-Two, i.e. GTA, Rockstar, and all them deliver. A phenomenal company. Everyone's got time for them, but that is just a bit of a shit show for WWE fans.
Yeah.
So hopefully they fix it within this game. I can't see it if it's that level of visual fidelity. That's going to be a 100 gig update kind of thing to fix that sort of stuff. I'm not confident, but yeah, let's hope it gets fixed. We'll keep our eyes out. If there's any more updates on that, we will be bringing it to the scoop. So make sure you follow right now, twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, or on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, wherever you are. Make sure you hit the subs and follow button so you can find out when we bring you the updates to that story. And moving on to another story, I'll let you take this one, Bib, since you're more of a fan. You've played through the Arkham series, where I haven't.
I most certainly have. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, okay. It's going to be an odd one, this. My Discord seems to be cutting out every so often, so I don't know if you've stayed quiet or it's just decided to troll me.
No,
But,
I think the main issue... True article, and then they've just kind of like... I mean, it's Batman...
You're doing it... I'm gonna drive to past Salford and egg your windows. But yeah, this article comes from the Metro UK. It's the first time we're actually featuring a Metro article because I didn't know they did video game news. But now they do. So Game Central have written, Batman Arkham Legacy is the name of the new Batman game, claims source. So Warner Brothers still hasn't announced a new Batman game, but at least we might know the name and hint of what it might be about. The lack of any new Batman games since 2015's Arkham Knight remains one of the most baffling mysteries in gaming generation, given how quick most publishers had to put a sequel out of a successful game. Neither Rocksteady, who I believe to be working on some sort of game, a service title, or Warner Brothers Games Montreal, who made the 2013's Arkham Origins, have released a new game all generation, and there's still no official word from either about what they're working on. Unofficially, though, it seems as Warner Bros. Games Montreal's new game is called Batman Arkham Legacy and will feature the entire Bat family of playable characters. Warner Bros. Games Montreal has been rumoured to be involved with several cancelled projects, all of which would be intended to be Batman titles. Last year, one of the developers claimed the studio was working on 2 new Batman DC Comics games, which has been long rumoured to be a new Batman game involving the Court of Owls storyline, which is what seemed to be being teased last month. Despite assumptions those teasers would end the official reveal, nothing ever happened. But online leaker Sabi, who proved very reliable around E3, suggested the new game has very non-descriptive name of Batman Arkham Legacy. Interestingly, comic book movie insider Thomas Polito then replied to the tweet, seeming to imply the information was true. You can see the tweet on screen if you are watching in the chat. The mention of a playable family is a reference to the Bat family concept from the comics, which includes all of Batman's many and varied sidekicks and allies. Traditionally, that looks like Batman multiple Robins. There have been several, many of which went on to include alter egos, more notably Nightwing and Red Hood. Several Batgirls and Oracle and Batwoman. There are many other obscure characters in the game could choose as well, which are more loosely associated, sometimes allies, such as Catwoman, Huntress, Azrael, and Creeper. I've got one more paragraph. Whether that turn implies multiplayer is unknown, although it is the focus of Rocksteady's game, and it may be Arkham Legacy as intended as a more traditional Arkham experience. Or maybe the rumours simply aren't true. Either way, there's still nothing official, and we have no idea what the announcement might be. Whew, that was I feel a bit parched now.
Batman.
After reading all that.
You sound like Batman by the time you get to the end of one of those articles.
Hey, I need a drink.
That's what I sounded
Someone
like this
give me a
morning.
drink. So, babe, what do you think about the new Batman game? You really looking forward to it? Because that's what Batman says.
I am extremely looking forward to a new Batman game. Craig says, love the first 2 Batman games, but couldn't get into the third. I didn't enjoy the vehicle sequences, which is surprising. Yes, that seemed to be the common thoughts of the latest Batman game, shall we say?
So what
the driving and the Batmobile was a bit.
What was the order? There was like Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum, or
No,
something?
Arkham Asylum was first.
Oh, okay.
Arkham City, Arkham Knight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have. Maybe was there an Arkham collection or something? I think I might have that. Or
There's Arkham Origins. I don't know if there was an Arkham collection.
I have something.
In fact, Epic Store 2 weeks ago gave away the entire Batman collection for free.
Interesting. Epic Store. I see. I still haven't downloaded the Epic Launcher at all. Is it just called the Epic Store, the launcher? Well, I haven't downloaded it anyway. I've been meaning to.
Yeah.
I think I'll do that because you can get like.
It's amazing.
Twitch
it's
games.
amazing, the Epic Store. You get them. You get 2 free games a week. Oh, is it every other week? I don't know. I'm sure it's every week. You get 2 free games. So like last week, I think was Metro Exodus and Observer. I think it was. But next week's Layers of Fear, which we talked about yesterday on yesterday's show. I can't wait for that because that's the. I've only got the standard version, but this is like the masterpiece version with I think some more DLC, and they're giving it away for free. So I encourage us to download that.
Nice. I mean, we absolutely 100% aren't sponsored by our overlords and rulers at Epic Games Store, which is just why we spoke about Layers of Fear yesterday, and now it's out next week. Okay, there we go.
Exclusive. We've got to piece that up as an exclusive.
So interesting. I mean, as someone that not that I'm against any of the Batman games at all. I think it was after the Dark Knight films and seeing where DC kind of went. I just kind of was like, I unfairly kind of pushed the Batman games in with DC films of being like, Batman films just aren't going anywhere. Superman films just aren't going anywhere. So Arkham games, I just kind of was like, oh, there's a lot to play. I'll shelve that until I can get time for it, and then never got back to it. So as you guys in the chat, obviously Craig, Pirate, yourself, Bib, where would you put the Arkham games? Are they ridiculously good, or are they
insanely good? I mean, Arkham Asylum is probably one of my favourite games of all time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, seriously. Like, and I don't know if this is the general consensus that's in the chat, but for me, the Mark Hamill Joker is the best Joker there is. Like, he's got the voice nailed down, he's got the laugh, everything about it, the humour. It's just amazing. Arkham Asylum. If you can, usually it's on the store for less than £10 on the PlayStation Store. So, honest to God, just play that game. If you've never played it before and you only have a slight interest in Batman, just play that game. Honest to God, it'll change your life. It's so good. I don't know what else to say that there hasn't been said about that game. But funnily enough, they use the same fighting mechanics and everything that was in Mad Max because it was made by Warner Brothers Studios as well. So if you've played Mad Max and you haven't played Batman, then I suggest you play Batman as well because it's, again, the Batman universe is amazing. I absolutely adore it, regardless of whether or not it's the films. Like the 90s films for me, what I grew up with. So that's what got me into Batman initially. And yeah, it's just amazing. Amazing.
I don't have. I was just checking my Steam library whilst you were chatting through then to see whether I had. I think I have them on the PlayStation because I know that something came free through PS Plus, and I got it then thinking, okay, I will get through to it. But yeah, I thought I might have got it. I got a few Warner Brothers games, but it wasn't. It was Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War, and Mortal Kombat 10 plus.
Shadow of War, the Mordor games fight exactly the same as well. They're all made by the same Warner Brothers Studios, aren't they? So the fighting mechanics are pretty much the same. But yeah, if you can get hold of Arkham Asylum, especially on the PS4, or even better if you've got it on the PC, because you can get the nice 1080p version of it. It's amazing.
Nice. So who is Bibby's favourite Batman?
Oh, that's a very good question.
So we know Joker.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. Interesting.
Yes.
Who is Pirate's favourite Batman? Okay, my favourite Batman is Val Kilmer. not.
So nobody ever.
No, I think mine is Christian Bale. Not.
Oh, it's amazing as well, though. To be fair,
the thing is, I don't think it was him. Because Batman Begins was okay. It was a good setup film. I know a lot of people love Batman Begins, but The Dark Knight, everything about that kind of just gives Christian Bale the free pass for me. But yeah, like I say, I don't think, like, you look at that film, and my favourite Joker once again for that again is Heath Ledger, just because I love that film. That's one of my favourite films of all time, I think. So yeah. Joker and Heath Ledger for that is the better character, which kind of then makes you think, okay, well, is Bale really that good at being Batman? But I just didn't. Michael Keaton was okay, but my issue with Michael Keaton is he was always hampered by technology. Like, you watch Michael Keaton's Batman, it's like, Batman, turn around, and he has to go like, I don't have a neck, I can't turn my head, and it's so like that.
Shout out for Paul making that reference 2 days ago. That made me absolutely piss myself.
Yeah, it was like the sort of like thingy. Adam West. Hey, pow, sock.
Nobody messes with Adam West.
So who else was there? There was Val Kilmer. There was someone for like one.
George Clooney.
George Clooney. He was the one with Mr. Freeze, wasn't he? Yeah.
No, the night's back there. That was Batman and Robin, and God, can't remember the name of Robin. What's he called?
Is it Chris?
It's gone out of my head. But yeah, that was an alright film. But for me, the 90s Batman films, I'll always like have a special place in my heart. I mean, occasionally, if it's a rainy Sunday or a Christmas time or whatever it is, I just bang on the trilogy because we've got them. Chris O'Donnell, that's it. I bang on the Batman trilogy. It's amazing. Love it. Big fan. I'm waiting for a new one. I'm happy for it. So yeah, whenever it's ready to drop, I will 100% be picking that. A day one purchase. There isn't many games that I'll pick up on day one anymore. A new Batman game would 100% be it. Will Arnett, Lego Batman. Will Arnett, yes, the Lego Batman. Oh god, he does a very good voice for that. It's brilliant.
Will Arnett's voice is just class. Anyway, he's just got one of those like unmistakable voices. Like Will Arnett as Batman, and then you've got Will Arnett as the reporter dude from the Turtles movies, kind of thing. It's just regardless of what his character is, his voice is just class.
Yeah. Have you seen the Lego Batman film?
No, I haven't actually.
You are in for a treat. You need to watch that film. It's amazing. It's so funny.
But now, time for a tedious link. Bibby just said day one purchase. I will bring this next and final news article on screen as we prepare to end the scoop. Days Gone developer starts work on a new PS5 game. And the reason I said day one purchase is because I got Days Gone on days one. And I've played it days none so far. Wow. Didn't mean that to be as successful a link as it was, but there we go. So Sony Bend Studios has begun development on a new project, but is it Days Gone 2, a new siphon filter, or something else? There's been no official announcement, but a developer at Bend Studio has updated their LinkedIn profile to say he's now involved in the pre-production planning for our next title. I want to know who sits there looking at developers' LinkedIn profiles. I mean, that is old school journalism. That I'm just going to follow everyone and wait for something to change.
Yeah, but I'd rather have journalism like that can give us little small things than this than someone sitting outside somebody's house waiting to go through the bins. Yeah. Just give me more of this, please.
Absolute bottom feeders. Anyway, developers are always saying things on LinkedIn while forgetting that everyone else can see them. So there doesn't seem much reason not to take his statement at face value. Given the timeframes involved, if they've only just started now, it'd be at least 2 or 3 years till it's finished. It's inconceivable that the game wouldn't be a PlayStation 5 title. There's no clue as to exactly what it might be. The obvious guess is Days Gone 2, as despite being one of the least critically acclaimed Sony exclusive, the first Days Gone sold very well and left plenty of story potential for a sequel. Prior to Days Gone, Bend Studio were known for the Siphon Filter series of stealth action games, which they've often threatened to make a new entry in, although the last was a PSP game, Logan's Shadow, in 2007. They've also worked on a couple of portable Uncharted spin-offs, but it would certainly be a surprise if they were the ones to follow up the end of an era finale to Uncharted 4. Perhaps the most important point is simply that whatever they are working on won't be out for a long while, so there'll be no Bend Studio game for the PlayStation 5's launch, unless they do a remaster of Days Gone, that is. So, yeah. Take on that, Bib.
Did you ever play Siphon Filter?
I actually didn't. There's quite a lot of big games like that kind of I'm aware of and kind of have seen and just passed me by.
I love Siphon Filter.
So you mean like the Metal Gear ripoff? Yeah.
No, for me, Siphon Filter was like a budget version of 007.
Yeah, it was. I was having a joke with Chris Locke, who's one of the UK Metal Gear community and does a very good Solid Snake.
Chris Rock.
Chris Locke. No, not
not
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock.
You got knocked the fuck out, man. Actually, do you know what now?
That's Chris Tucker.
Yeah, no, but I'm going to play it anyway because. Playing sounds on my stream did take forever when I do it the first time.
You got knocked the fuck out, man. Yeah, Siphon Filter, amazing game. I'd absolutely love them to make a new one of them. The chances of making a new one for PlayStation 5, highly unlikely. They've kind of left it too long to be able to bring that back. But saying that, they brought back Toe Jam and Earl recently, so There doesn't seem to be any kind of statute of limitations when it comes to stuff like that. But I can see that. Go on, sorry.
I was gonna say, I think a game like Siphon Filter, because it was successful and because it had such a big like following at the time. Obviously, by the end of it, it kind of got a little bit samey. So I think that's probably why it kind of petered out. But there will always be that rose-tinted glasses looking back at when it was good. You forget that it didn't. If a game just becomes a bit. You don't remember that as time goes by. You remember do you remember when it was cool? Do you remember when we did the things that we'd not done before? So I think something like Siphon Filter, once you've had enough time to forget the tail off, you can just go, remember when it was awesome? We've now got it back and it's really good again. So yeah, a game like Siphon Filter, I can see them definitely coming back. Days Gone, like I said, I haven't played it, and that's not because when it launched, the reviews and all of the opinions around it weren't the greatest. I'm still going to play it purely based off of one piece of creative, and I think I might have actually shown it on a previous ICU stream before. But if you've seen Days Gone, and obviously now we've got all the key art of the guy on the bike driving around, and there's campfires, and there's other sort of like almost Walking Dead post-apocalyptic kind of feel to it. Forget all of that. Just go back and look at the very first E3 trailer. It's maybe about 10 minutes long, and it's basically the main character just being chased by thousands of zombies, and it's like a panic sort of chase scene. He's jumping through fucking buildings, he's climbing up shit, he's shotgunning some, he's machine gunning others, he's throwing a few grenades, and it's just like legging it. But if you ever seen like I Am Legend, do you know like where Will Smith's getting chased by like the Horde? It was just this, and eventually he's going through warehouses, through woodlands, climbing up stuff, going down stuff, and he goes through the top of this warehouse and he's out onto this sort of like thin walkway, and I think he takes out like the last of them there, but then you kind of then see on the floor like that shit, the shitloads more of the clip, like the trailer just ends there, but it's just a really like fuck, and you're watching like whoa, that was close, and I was just thinking, okay, instantly buying this. And the only other game that's had that sort of impact for me with the trailer was the first ever Dead Island, that sort of reverse trailer where sick badass. So yeah, I mean, I think the amount of buzz around Days Gone and the fact obviously it was Sony first party kind of stuff, I think that would be my bet, because if they've had it and they've not done very well, there's definitely something to finish there. They can go, okay, we fucked it up a little bit last night, it wasn't the most involving storyline or whatever the reviews were saying. We can build on that going forward. We've got a world, we've got a character, now we just need to give it some meaning. So that's where I'd put my eggs, in the Days Gone 2 basket. Will you be buying The Last of Us 2 on release day?
Yes, maybe, depending on what I've got going on at the time. But yeah, pretty much, I imagine so. I can't see why I wouldn't be. I 100% know that you will be, Graham, because it was potentially one of your favourite games of all time, the first one.
Absolutely. I think The Last of Us probably is my favourite game of all time. I think it's just Naughty Dog in general. The Last of Us and Uncharted, two of my all-time like story series, but The Last of Us, the storyline, and like I've said before, it probably comes down to having that emotionally significant storyline at an emotionally significant time in your life. I won't, no spoilers, but if you watch the prologue, it kind of ends in a powerful way, and let's just say it had family elements to it, and I just became a dad at that point in time, so it kind of like resonated with me. But then it built on it with an amazing storyline, really powerful cinematics, really, really thoughtful gameplay. So yeah, absolutely, The Last of Us 2 release day, bam. You don't really get any proper guns and stuff until later on, so you have to adapt to surviving without them. That's Next Gen Renegade following up on his earlier comment saying Days Gone is actually really good. It can get a little repetitive, but sneaking about, having to scavenge parts from stuff is really cool. Okay, so that does sound cool. Pirates already pre-ordered The Last of Us 2. I always need a good story series to break up the madness of Pez when I play it. Yeah, absolutely.
There's nothing better than a single player experience, storyline wise. If the storyline's good enough, like you need to have. You don't even need to have good writers. You just need to be able to put a decent story together. Like anybody can write a story. Someone who can't maybe writing their first story maybe better than somebody else's 17th million story. It just obviously whether or not it resonates with you as the person who's going through that journey at the time.
Lewis Mo, is that right? Says, hi, just drawing some random things and watching the stream at the same time, because why not? But anyways, how are you? Very good, Lewis, very good. Although you've just joined us as we are about to wrap things up. We've only got a few minutes left of the scoop, but we are live every day at 10 a.m. UK time. So make sure you feel free to hit the follow button while you're here, Lewis, so you can draw more things while we chat more things tomorrow at 10 a.m. But yeah, I think... what you were kind of saying there, quite a lot of new storyline. You don't necessarily have to have 10 games under your belt as a story writer. You just need to have the right story, which is obviously easier said than done. A lot of experienced story writers might fall into the same old tropes of having the same hero figure or the same sort of dramatic twist to a storyline. And yeah, we've seen some games come out of nowhere and absolutely smash the industry. I mean, what story topic are you talking about? We are talking about, we started off talking about Days Gone. The developer for Days Gone is developing a new game for PS5, but J-Dubs in the chat asked if we'll be buying The Last of Us 2 on release day. So now we've kind of segued between the two topics, and we're kind of talking about games, storyline games, and yeah, well, we started talking about whether we feel The Last of Us would be good, or whether using games with the storyline to kind of take our focus away from playing other games as well, as Pirate mentioned. But yes, the gist of it is basically we're all pretty much going to be buying The Last of Us 2, but we feel that Days Gone just needs to build on what he did with his first one. So I said Days Gone, the developer, Ben Studio, that made Days Gone, if they release a new Days Gone game, they've got the character, they've got the environment, they've got the reasoning for the story, so the motive for it. They just need to have the actual meat of a story. So getting a decent story within there will probably make that game pop, if that is indeed the next game on PS5. Imagine a new Getaway from that developer. Did you ever play the Getaway, babe?
I did. I actually streamed it on Ice Cream Uploads probably about 6 months ago. However, the first one does not hold up anymore, and I found it extremely clunky. It was just our perception of games back then and what they are now. Some games hold up, some others really don't. So if you have a nostalgic feel of the game, then I would 100% stay away from this. The Getaway, if you was to go back and play it again. The Getaway 2, Black Friday, or Black Monday, was it? I'm fairly certain it was Black Monday. But yeah, that's a little bit better. But yeah, don't go back and play them. It'll ruin your day.
A new Getaway, I would be on that quick time. I had all the Getaways, even the one in London, and Next Gen Renegade does come for Black Monday. One game that doesn't, for me, holds in terms of stand the test of time. Not from content, just from playability, is Driver. Doing that, that driving test thing in the underground car park where you've got to do the reverse 180s and stuff like that. Going back and playing that now, and you just like, obviously your mind is such a rubbish thing, because you're kind of in your head thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to go back, and it's almost like playing GTA San Andreas or something. Or your mind might even fill in the blanks and put you in like a Forza Motorsport kind of car, but when you go back, it's all just a bit clunky and janky, and it looks like a PS1 game. But I don't want to ever play that game again, purely because of how much I enjoyed it previously, and I never want to ruin what I had playing that. I even remember that when you finished all of the 10 things on the list, it goes, "You the man, we gonna need you," and just sticks with me. And if I go back and hear it now, and it'll be naff audio recording or really cheesy, and I'm just gonna be like, no, don't want to spoil what I have of Driver in my mind.
The like I say, that test drive thing at the beginning, that piano soundtrack at the beginning, oh, it's amazing. I love it. So good.
Despite it looking like the guy was tugging himself when he was regaining health, having to stop and regain health by leaning on the wall wasn't the best mechanic idea for the Getaway. For sure,
no, not when people come running round the door and shoot you. I think that's what I got done by like 5 or 6 times when I was streaming it, because I had to heal up, but you kind of have to lean on a wall, which people are going to run past to shoot you. So yeah, it's not the best idea, but yeah, don't go back and play it. It's shocking. Just watch it on YouTube.
But if you are looking for something to go back and play. Nice segue there. You can go back and play this video. We are live every day, 10 a.m. twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. This podcast, essentially will be live on YouTube within the next hour or so. And then later on in the day, you will be able to go back and listen to it on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and SoundCloud. There we go. Got all 4 of our links in there. If you're not following, make sure you go check us out on Twitter, on Twitter, at Ice Cream Uploads. Same across all social media. And if you want to find the podcast links, if you want to find the YouTube links, they will all be shared on our social media as the day goes on. But I think, there we are, that is done. I just thought I had another article there from the Metro, but it wasn't. It was the Days Gone developer one that we've just touched upon. For those of you that didn't join us for the earlier part of the show, though, let me just show you that Bibby has a place on my shelf. Da-da-da-da-da-da. There he is. Nice one, Bib. Especially led. Weird noise there. But there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Wednesday's edition of The Scoop. We will be back 10 a.m. brightly and sprightly, probably not very brightly or very sprightly, at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Anything you want to add before we wrap up the show, Bibberino?
Laters.
Laters, there we go. So that's it from myself and... Nope, this man, the Bib. Until 10 a.m. tomorrow, Thursday, on Ice Cream Uploads. Stay frosty.